Hello friends, in this video we will be learning about cross-browser testing. So I'm going to discuss in detail what is all about cross-browser testing. Before moving further, if you have visited Testingshala YouTube channel for the first time, then please click on subscribe and bell notification so that all our future videos will be in your inbox as in when we publish our new videos. So let us move on and understand what is all about cross-browser testing. So whenever you are going to develop a website or a web application, you should always keep in mind your website or a web application can be accessed by the people across the world using the desktop or mobile using any combinations of browser any combinations of browsers which are available in the market. You cannot restrict the people not to use on any browser. That means you should certify your website or a web application that can be easily accessible using any of these standard browsers which are available in the market, which is huge combinations which we can see, because our goal becomes very strong and very difficult, especially because we need to adopt the great testing strategies and processes to achieve the great test coverage by having hundreds of combinations of browsers against the operating systems. That is a major challenge in cross-browser testing, and is also one of the major challenges because different technologies being used when you are developing your website or web applications, because every web application can be implemented using various technologies. If you have used HTML technologies, or it could be CSS technologies or JavaScripts, there are various technologies being used in developing a web application. That means irrespective of whatever you have used the technology, and still you should ensure that same thing works in different browsers and versus the operating systems. So that becomes a very challenging um, of cross-browser testing, and especially browsers. You'll have IE, Firefox, Chrome, and we have Safari. So again, each operating system, they releases their own browsers and different version. Then still you should ensure that your website or a web application should be able to support in all these combinations. Then what would be your testing strategy? The next question comes, what would be the testing strategy which you are going to adopt to test this kind of cross-browser testing? You should adopt always the good strategy in testing these different combinations of browsers. So before you adopt any strategy, you should do a market research. You should do a market research, and you should understand what kind of browsers being used by the customer or your future customers, and you should also understand which part of the geographical regions where your website and application is going to serve, and you should also understand what kind of browsers normally used by those people in those regions. That would help you to put the right strategy, the right test strategy. So hence, always do a research in the market that would give you enough indication what kind of browsers people really use and what kind of mobile devices or desktops people use in those countries, and that is going to help you to put a right strategy. And always the strategy would be doing a research, right? Then followed by putting the plan in covering those research aspects, right? That is a major strategy which you need to adopt. And also you should also adapt in a strategy what are the different beta releases or new releases comes for the different browsers. You should bring those things also into your test coverage. So once that strategy is in place, especially this is in terms of coverage, then you should also think about the complexities involved in executing this test release on release. It is very cumbersome and it is very monotonous activity if you are going to perform the cross-browser testing in a manual way in a whole life. And your testers would definitely leave your organization because it is very monotonous and very cumbersome. Hence, bringing automation is also a best strategy you should adopt. And you should bring your automation as quickly as possible so that you can reduce the monotonous for your team, and these tests can be easily automatable because once we automate in certain browsers, and it can be run in other browsers also by help of the Selenium automation tool, because one of the best tool which is available in the market is Selenium that can easily perform this cross-browser testing and automate in one browser, and then you can execute in many browsers or many different versions of browsers. That is one aspect of bringing an automation, and having all the time manual testing is really not feasible. And you should ensure that these automated scripts or manual test scripts should be able to work in your desktop browsers, and you should be able to work in your mobile device browsers, and cross compatibility testing you should perform in more effective way. There are certain aspects it may work in desktop and certain things it may not work in mobile, right? You should keep all those things in mind when you are putting a strategy and when you are going to execute this cross-browser testing, right? At least I do recommend Selenium is one of the best tool if if your application is in if you are developing an application or if you are developing a web application or a website, then Selenium is one of the best tool available in the market, which is totally open source, and it does supports all the browsers. I can say all major browsers. It could be IE browsers, or it could be Safari, or it could be Firefox, or it could be Chrome. You name any browsers, Selenium does supports for cross-browser testing, right? And also it supports various popular programming languages by the Selenium, hence it is always recommended to use Selenium, right? And again, after you script the code for cross-browser testing, and the next challenge would come to execute this test in again different combinations of OS, different combinations of browsers. Then again Selenium provides a Selenium grid opportunity where you can use Selenium grid that helps you to run the automated scripts in different combinations of operating systems and different combinations of browsers, and it also gives a beautiful results. It would give a beautiful results uh, after running those scripts. So in a nutshell, while performing a cross-browser testing, you should look various aspects when you're developing a test strategy or an approach, and definitely you cannot rely all the time with the manual testing. and you should bring more automation, and definitely a Selenium is going to be useful to perform automation for cross-browser testing, and which is completely open source. I hope this video was very useful, and you are able to understand complete data. You are able to understand on cross-browser testing. And if you enjoyed watching this video, or if you have learned something in a cross-browser testing, then definitely click on like button. And if you have visited Testingshala YouTube channel for the first time, then please click on subscribe and bell notification so that all our future videos related to software testing will be in your inbox. That would help you to enhance your software testing skills. Thanks for watching this video. Bye for now. Take care.